The line at the boarding gate crawled forward, restless and impatient. He waited with one hand on his daughter's shoulder, the other gripping their travel folder like it contained oxygen. The flight to London was the last one that day, the only one that would reach in time for his mother's burial. "Next," the agent said without looking up. He stepped forward, slid the folder across the counter. "2 tickets, Sullivan and Grace." Keyboard clacks. A sigh. "Passport, sir?" He reached into the side pocket where it always was. Nothing. His fingers searched again, slower this time. Jacket, backpack, even the book Grace had been reading. The folder lay open between them, empty slot where the blue booklet should have been. "It was right here," he muttered. "I had it through security." The agent's eyes lifted. "Take your time, sir." "But we close in 3 minutes." Grace tugged his sleeve. "You had it at the coffee stand," she whispered. "When you paid?" He nodded, scanning the floor, the nearby benches. Nothing but wrappers and footprints. "Let me just—" "Sir," the agent cut in, tone firm. "We cannot delay boarding." He glanced past her. The tunnel door was still open. Passengers were still walking through. "Please, just 30 seconds. "My daughter—" "I understand, but I have procedures." He knelt beside Grace. "Stay right here. Don't move." She nodded, biting her lip. He jogged back toward the coffee stand, heart hammering. The barista shook her head before he even asked. "Sorry, sir." Nothing left behind. He retraced his path, scanning seats, trash bins, floor tiles. Each step tightened the knot in his stomach. The boarding area had thinned to silence. When he returned, the agent was closing the counter. "Found it?" "No, but listen, I know it's here somewhere." "Maybe it fell when you scanned the ticket earlier. I haven't scanned anything yet." She tapped the screen, brow furrowing. "Actually, you're not checked in." "That's impossible." "I confirmed online." Her fingers hesitated over the keyboard. "There's no reservation under Sullivan." "Are you sure this is the correct flight?" He produced the printed confirmation. Flight number, names, times, all correct. Her frown deepened. "Our system doesn't show it." "Ma'am, my mother's funeral is tomorrow morning." "I can't miss this. I'm sorry," she said automatically. "But without a passport, I can't even check you in manually." He inhaled through his teeth, steadying himself. "Then please call security or lost and found." "Someone must have turned it in." "I'll radio them," she said, reaching for the phone. "But boarding closes now." Behind her, the final passenger disappeared into the tunnel. The door hissed as it sealed. Grace's small voice broke the quiet. "Dad!" He turned. She was holding her stuffed rabbit like a shield. "Are we not going?" "Not yet, honey." The agent hung up the receiver. "Lost and found reports nothing. I can file a missing passport report for you. You can rebook tomorrow once you have new documents." He stared at her, disbelief hardening into calm. "Can you check under your counter? Maybe it slipped there when I handed the folder." She sighed but crouched, shuffling papers. "Nothing. Please look again." Her voice sharpened. "Sir, I've checked." "It's not here." Grace wiped her eyes. "He had it. I saw him." "Sweetheart," the agent said gently. "Sometimes things disappear when we're in a hurry." He studied her face. Something in her eyes didn't match the softness of her tone. Too alert, too guarded. "Could someone have picked it up?" He asked. "Sir, security cameras cover the area. If it turns up, they'll contact you." He nodded slowly, forcing composure. "May I see the footage?" "That's handled by airport police, not gate staff." "Then call them." "Sir, please lower your voice." He looked around. A few passengers waiting for another flight pretended not to watch. The agent's colleague at the next counter whispered something and avoided eye contact. He leaned closer, voice measured. "I'm not angry. I just need to understand how my passport and my reservation both vanished in the last 10 minutes. The agent's jaw tightened. "I don't know, sir. You didn't scan it?" "No." "You didn't drop it?" "No." "Then how is it gone?" She swallowed, glancing at her monitor as if hoping for a different answer. "I'll call a supervisor." "Please do." While they waited, Grace climbed onto the empty chair beside him, hugging her rabbit. "We can take another plane tomorrow, right?" He smiled faintly. "We'll figure it out." Inside, he was replaying every second since security, handing the passports to the officer, showing them at the gate podium, sliding them back into the folder. He'd done it all automatically, like muscle memory. He never misplaced it. The supervisor arrived, tall, impatient, badge glinting. Problem, the agent summarized quickly. Missing passport, missing reservation, last flight closed. The supervisor tapped a few keys, frowned. She's right. No record of booking. Did you perhaps cancel? No. Booked through a third-party site? Yes, but confirmed by your email. He handed over the printed receipt again. The man squinted at it, then at the screen. Strange. The code's valid, but the name field shows blank. How blank? Like it was deleted. By who? Could be a system glitch. He stared between them. A glitch that deletes one passenger's record and a passport at the same time. The supervisor's expression stayed neutral. Sir, if you'd like to file a formal complaint, customer service is open 24 hours. Grace's lip trembled. We're missing Grandma. The agent looked away. The supervisor exhaled, softer now. Sir, I'm sorry. There's nothing more we can do tonight. He nodded once, controlled. Understood. He gathered the folder, lifted Grace into his arms, and turned toward the seating area. As they walked away, the agent whispered to the supervisor. It's him, isn't it? Keep your voice down. But the memo said, Forget the memo, he hissed. We don't talk about that here. She swallowed, eyes flicking toward the man's retreating figure. He paused near the window, staring at the dark tarmac. The reflection in the glass showed his own tired face and the small head resting on his shoulder. Grace's breathing steadied as she drifted to sleep. He spoke quietly, almost to himself. They knew. The reflection mouthed the same words back. He sat down, pulled out his phone, scrolled to a contact labeled Simply K. His thumb hovered. Then he typed, It happened again. They erased it this time. He hit send. A reply appeared instantly. Stay calm. Cameras are rolling. Collect everything. He looked toward the gate counter one last time. The agent was still watching him, pretending not to. He smiled faintly, a smile that didn't reach his eyes. Come on, kiddo, he whispered, standing. We've got work to do. He walked toward the baggage claim instead of the exit, cradling his daughter against his chest. At the gate, the supervisor's phone buzzed. A single message from an unknown number. Subject identified. Passport retrieval confirmed. Proceed to next phase. The supervisor's jaw tightened. He pocketed the phone and said quietly to the agent, You never saw that man tonight? But his child. Forget it. She hesitated, then nodded. Yes, sir. He walked away. She turned back to her counter, heart thudding, a question burning behind her silence. Why did his name sound familiar? Across the hall, the father slipped into the shadows near a service door marked Authorized Personnel Only. He glanced once over his shoulder, then disappeared through it, unseen by anyone except a single camera blinking red in the corner. The agent noticed the light flicker and shivered. She would not sleep that night. The crowd had already moved on, the hum of boarding calls filling the air again. But Luke stood still, hands empty, heart hammering. His daughter Ella clung to his sleeve. Dad. What's happening? She whispered. He crouched down, forcing a smile that didn't reach his eyes. Nothing we can't fix, okay? Just stay close to me. He straightened up and walked toward the information desk, each step heavy. The gate agent from earlier avoided his eyes. He didn't blame her, not yet, sir, the new clerk said with a rehearsed smile. I understand your passport went missing? Luke nodded. At your counter. It was right here. I handed it over. Did you perhaps misplace it yourself? He looked at her steady. No, I don't misplace identification documents, the woman's smile faltered. She typed something, frowning. I'm not seeing any record of your ticket either. What flight did you say? Flight 423, Karachi to London. Checked in online last night. Her brows drew together. There's no booking under your name, he inhaled slowly. They're already erasing me. Can you check under my daughter's? What's her name? Ella Harper. A pause. Then the woman blinked at her screen. That one exists? But the adult link to it isn't you. Luke's voice dropped to a whisper. Who is it then? I'm sorry, sir. I can't disclose that. He leaned forward slightly, calm but cold. You already have. The clerk looked nervous now, glancing over her shoulder. Sir, maybe take a seat while we resolve this. He nodded, turning away. Of course. He led Ella toward the waiting area, eyes scanning the concourse. People streamed past, business travelers, students, tired parents with crying toddlers. Ordinary lives moving freely. But Luke felt the invisible net tightening around him. Ella tugged his hand. "Dad, did we do something wrong?" "No, sweetheart. Someone else did." "Who?" He didn't answer. Instead, he slipped his phone from his pocket and opened a hidden folder. One swipe through his gallery, and a set of encrypted notes appeared beneath a photo of his late wife. He stared at her smile for a moment. "I'm close now, Sarah. They won't stop me this time." A voice behind him. "Mr. Harper?" He turned. Two uniformed airport officers stood there, polite, smiling, but the kind of smile that hides orders. "Yes?" "Could you come with us for a moment?" "Is there a problem?" "Just routine. About your missing passport." He looked at Ella. "Can she come?" "Of course." They led him to a small room behind frosted glass doors. Inside, white walls, a table, a camera in the corner. One of the officers gestured to a chair. Luke sat. "Do I need a lawyer?" "Sir, this isn't an interrogation. We just want to help you locate your document," he nodded. "Then you might want to check your lost and found department or your IT logs." The officer frowned. "Why the IT logs?" "Because someone accessed my file an hour ago and deleted my itinerary." "I'd like to know who." The other man exchanged a glance with his partner. "That's a serious accusation." "So is losing an international traveler's passport." The silence stretched. Then the first officer said carefully, "Mr. Harper, what exactly brings you to London?" "My daughter's school enrollment." "Do you have paperwork for that?" "In my passport." "Which you lost." He smiled faintly, watching them squirm. After a moment, they excused themselves, stepping out to make a call. Luke exhaled slowly, hands clasped. Ella sat beside him, swinging her legs. "Dad? Yes? You look mad." "I'm thinking about Mom." He looked at her. So much of Sarah in her face it hurt. Always. Minutes later, the door opened again. A woman entered. Airport security, not police. Sharp eyes, confident stride. "Mr. Harper, I'm Chief Officer Dana Cole. I handle internal reports." "You filed a complaint?" "I didn't, but maybe I should." She studied him. "The system shows your passport scanned at gate 12 but no exit record. That means it was either misplaced or taken." "Taken," he said flatly. "By who?" "You tell me. You've got cameras everywhere." Dana didn't flinch. "We're checking." "But here's the strange part. Your file was flagged this morning by corporate security." "No reason listed." Luke's jaw tightened. "Flagged how?" "Restricted access. Only senior admins could modify it." He leaned back. "Then someone upstairs wanted me grounded." "Why would they do that?" He met her eyes. "Because 3 years ago I worked for this airline. And I found something I wasn't supposed to." She hesitated. "I see." He smiled slightly. "No, you don't. Not yet." Dana's gaze softened. "You're protecting your daughter. I get it. Let's find that passport first, okay?" He nodded. "Good." She stepped out again, murmuring into her radio. Luke waited. His hand brushed his jacket pocket. Something small and metallic pressed against his ribs. Not a weapon, a key. He'd kept it hidden since the day his wife died. Ella leaned against him. "I'm tired, Dad." "I know, baby. We'll be home soon." But he knew home was a word that had stopped meaning safety a long time ago. 20 minutes later, Dana returned, holding a sealed plastic pouch. "Inside, his passport. Found it," she said. Luke didn't move. "Where?" "In the staff bin. Near gate 7, someone tore the cover off." He reached for it, eyes narrowing at the bent corner. There, faint but visible under the light, was the imprint of a number he recognized, an employee ID. "Who's 4021? Dana blinked. "Why?" "Because they handled this." She hesitated. "That's a senior systems analyst." "They don't work the gates." Luke smiled thinly. "They do when they're hiding something." He stood, sliding the passport into his coat. "Thank you for finding this. Now, I'll catch my flight." "Mr. Harper," she began. "Your ticket already fixed." She frowned. "How?" He met her gaze. "I keep backups. Everywhere." He walked out with Ella's hand in his, every movement controlled, deliberate. But inside, adrenaline roared through him. The woman watched him go, then turned to her colleague. "Pull everything from Terminal 2 cameras in the last hour, especially near systems access points. Luke reached the main corridor again. People flowed around him like a current. He looked at the departure screen. His flight was already boarding. "Dad, are we still going?" "Yes, but they said the ticket." "Shh, just follow me." He led her toward another counter, scanning faces. When the clerk looked up, Luke smiled warmly. "2 seats for Flight 423, please." "We were just reissued." The clerk nodded, typing quickly. "Looks like you're all set. Go right ahead." As they passed through the final checkpoint, Ella's voice broke the silence. "Dad, why did that lady at the desk look scared of you?" He glanced down, eyes unreadable. "Because she saw something she wasn't supposed to." They reached the jet bridge. Ella skipped ahead, holding her stuffed rabbit. Luke paused, staring out the window at the tarmac below, rows of planes, glinting white in the sun. He pressed his palm to the glass for a moment, then, quietly to himself. Phase 1 complete. A soft vibration in his pocket. A message flashed on the encrypted screen. "Access confirmed." "They took the bait," Luke exhaled, eyes narrowing slightly. He slipped the phone away and followed his daughter onto the plane. The seatbelt light flickered on. The hum of the engines filled the cabin as the plane taxied down the runway. Luke stared out the window, jaw clenched. He looked calm, but his eyes were somewhere far away. Ella leaned against him, clutching her rabbit. "Dad, are you okay now?" He smiled faintly. Almost. He brushed a strand of hair from her face. "We just need to get to London. After that, everything changes." She blinked up at him, trusting him completely. He wished she didn't have to. He reached into his jacket pocket, pulling out his passport. The torn corner caught the light. He flipped it open, revealing a small microchip embedded beneath the lining, a chip no ordinary passport had. He'd placed it there himself, years ago. It held the files Sarah had found before she died. He glanced around the cabin. Businessmen on laptops, a crying baby 2 rows ahead, an elderly couple murmuring softly. Normal life, and yet every hum of the aircraft felt like a countdown. 2 hours into the flight, Ella stirred. "Dad, can I color?" He nodded, smiling. "Of course." She opened her bag, pulling out crayons and a small notebook. He watched her draw clouds and hearts and little stick people holding hands. Then, as she turned a page, something else slipped out, a folded sheet of paper. Luke froze. "Where'd you get that?" he asked quietly. She looked up innocently. "It was in Mom's old book. I brought it. I thought you'd want it." He reached for it slowly. The handwriting stopped his breath. Sarah's. The top line read, "Project Lexicon. Do not share." His pulse thudded in his ears. He unfolded it carefully. Inside were notes, codes, timestamps, and one line underlined twice. "If anything happens to me, find the file in the maintenance logs." 4021 knows. 4021, the same number from the passport imprint. His grip tightened on the paper. Ella tilted her head. "Is that Mom's writing?" He nodded, voice low. "Yes, it's her. What's Project Lexicon?" He hesitated, then met her curious eyes. "Something we shouldn't have found," she frowned. "Is it bad?" He folded the paper again. "Bad for them. Good for us." A flight attendant stopped by with a kind smile. "Sir, coffee or tea?" "Just water, thank you." She poured it. Luke noticed her badge, Amelia Shaw. Flight crew No. 4210 close, but not 4021. Still, he felt the prickling awareness of being watched. When she left, he whispered, "Ella, don't talk about the paper again, okay?" She nodded solemnly. "Okay, Dad." He slipped the paper into his inner pocket next to the key, the microchip in his passport. The note from Sarah. It was all connecting now. He leaned back, closing his eyes. The engine's hum faded into memory. 3 years earlier, Sarah's voice on the phone, quiet and urgent. "Luke, I found something. The reports, they're falsifying inspections. Planes aren't safe." He'd laughed at first, thinking it was just another audit glitch, until the crash, until she never came home. The official report called it pilot error, but Sarah had sent him a file just hours before she died, an encrypted file named Lexicon Zip. He'd tried to open it once. It required an access code, something only someone inside the system could provide. Someone like 4021. Back in the present, a sudden announcement broke through his thoughts. Ladies and gentlemen, if there is a Mr. Luke Harper on board, please press your call button. We have an urgent communication for you. Every muscle in his body went still. Ella whispered, "Dad." "Why are they calling you?" He forced a calm smile. "Probably about the passport mix-up." He pressed the button. The same flight attendant, Amelia, appeared moments later. "Mr. Harper, could you please step toward the galley for a moment?" He nodded. "Of course." He squeezed Ella's hand. "Stay here, sweetheart. I'll be right back. Promise?" "Promise." At the galley, Amelia lowered her voice. This came through from ground control. She handed him a folded message slip. He opened it. A single line. "You're not safe." "Seat 18A, trust no one." He looked up sharply. "Who sent this?" Amelia shook her head. "It was relayed anonymously." "Should I report it?" He hesitated. "No, thank you." She walked away, glancing back once. Luke turned toward the rows ahead. Seat 18A was only a few feet from where he sat. A man in a gray suit occupied it, reading a newspaper, calm as stone. Luke studied him for a long moment. The man never looked up. He returned to Ella. She was coloring again, humming softly. "Dad, the lady said we might land early." He smiled faintly. "That's nice." He slid the message into his pocket next to the paper and key. Then he opened his laptop. Offline mode. No network. But inside, a hidden program waited for his signal. He typed a code. "Initiate mirror file uploader." Progress bar blinked. Pending activation. He needed one more thing to unlock it. Fort Atom 21's access code. A soft voice broke his focus. "Mr. Harper?" He turned. The man from 18A stood beside him now. Polite smile, calm eyes. "Mind if I sit?" Luke nodded cautiously. The man lowered his voice. "I believe you're looking for something that belongs to you." Luke's pulse spiked. "Who are you?" "Someone who used to work with your wife." Every instinct screamed danger. But he stayed still. "Sarah?" "Yes," the man said softly. "She trusted me. She asked me to keep something safe. I couldn't reach you until now." Luke's hand tightened on the armrest. "What is it?" The man slid a small USB drive onto the tray table. "This unlocks the lexicon file." Luke stared at it. "Why give it to me now?" "Because the people who killed her are getting desperate. They know you're close. The passport, deleting your ticket, that wasn't about stopping you from flying. They wanted to delay you until the board meeting ends tonight." "What board meeting?" "The one where they'll destroy every trace of the safety reports your wife exposed." Luke leaned forward. "And this drive stops that?" "If you upload it, it'll go public automatically." He looked at the tiny drive, simple, silver, almost ordinary. Ella glanced up. "Who's your friend, Dad?" Luke smiled faintly. "Someone helping us finish what Mom started." Hours later, as the plane descended into London, Luke felt the weight of the moment pressing on his chest. The truth. The files. Sarah's memory. Everything came down to the next few hours. As they touched down, the man from 18A whispered, "They'll be waiting for you at customs. Don't hand them the passport. There's a secondary exit near baggage claim. I'll handle the rest." Luke nodded once. "Thank you." But as the man stood, Luke noticed something strange. An airline ID tag under his jacket. Number 4021. His breath caught. "You're—" The man smiled slightly. "It's better if you didn't know." He walked away, disappearing into the crowd before Luke could respond. Ella tugged his hand. "Dad, who was he?" He looked down at her, heart racing. "Someone who still believes the truth matters." At baggage claim, uniformed officers waited near the exit. Dana Cole was among them. Their eyes met. She smiled faintly. "Mr. Harper, welcome back." He said nothing. She approached slowly. "You're holding something we need to discuss." Luke's mind raced. If she was part of it, handing over the passport would end everything. If she wasn't, she might be his only ally left. He studied her face. She looked tired, sincere. "You found your passport," she said. "Good, but you also triggered a red alert on your record." He stayed silent. "I can help you," she added quietly. "But you have to trust me." He exhaled slowly, handing her the folded paper instead of the passport. "Then start with this." She opened it, reading Sarah's handwriting. Her eyes widened. Where did you get this? From my daughter's bag. This is real. I've seen that project code before. She looked up, voice trembling. Luke, if this document is authentic, you're walking into something much bigger than you think. He met her eyes steadily. Then let's walk in together. They moved quickly through a side corridor, Ella between them. Luke's phone vibrated again. Upload ready. Enter access code. He pulled the USB from his pocket and slid it into his laptop port as they reached a quiet corner. Dana glanced around. What are you doing? Finishing what Sarah started. The screen blinked. Access denied, code required, he frowned. The drive's protected. Dana hesitated, then said softly, Try 11/02/19. He looked up sharply. How do you know that date? She smiled sadly. The day your wife filed her final report. I was her supervisor. He stared at her. You worked with Sarah? I tried to protect her. But the board shut it down. He entered the code. The screen flashed. Access granted. Uploading file. 1%. 2%. Dana's voice dropped. Once this uploads, there's no turning back. They'll come for you, he nodded. They already did. She looked at him almost in awe. You really loved her, didn't you? He smiled faintly. Enough to finish what she died for. The upload ticked upward. 90%. 95%. Then, error. Connection interrupted. Luke froze. What happened? Dana's expression hardened. They cut the airport network. He pulled the passport out again. Then we do it manually. How? He flipped the torn corner open, revealing the hidden chip. Backup server. Independent line. He held it up to the terminal port. Resuming upload. Complete. The screen flashed green. A flood of encrypted data streamed through the system. Maintenance logs, falsified safety inspections, internal emails. Sarah's truth. Finally unleashed. Dana whispered, You did it. Luke exhaled shakily. No, we did. Then a loudspeaker crackled overhead. Attention all passengers arriving from Flight 423. Please remain in the terminal for verification. Ella gripped his hand. Dad, are we in trouble? He knelt down. Not anymore, sweetheart. They are, but as they turned toward the exit, Luke's phone buzzed again. A new message. You uploaded the wrong file. Check your passport. He looked at Dana, her face pale, eyes wide. Luke, what file did you just send? He opened the passport. The chip was gone. In its place, a blank piece of plastic. He froze. Somewhere in the crowd, a voice whispered through his earpiece. Phase 2 begins now. The message burned on his phone screen. You uploaded the wrong file. Check your passport. Luke's pulse roared in his ears. He turned the passport over again and again. Empty. The chip was gone. Only a faint indentation where it had been. He looked up sharply. Dana, did you move this? She shook her head. No, what are you talking about? The chip. The one inside the passport, it's gone. Dana's eyes darted to the crowd. Then someone replaced it before you boarded. He felt the world tilt. But how? I kept it with me the whole time. You didn't, she said quietly. You handed it to Carla at the gate. He froze. The image of the agent dropping his passport into the trash flashed through his mind. She didn't destroy it, he said slowly. She switched it. Dana's jaw tightened. Then whatever you uploaded, he already knew. It wasn't Sarah's file. His phone buzzed again. Another message. Nice upload. The world now thinks you leaked corporate secrets, not safety reports. They'll come for you now. Not us. Luke's hands trembled. His throat went dry. They flipped it, Dana whispered. They made you the villain. Ella tugged his sleeve. Dad, what's happening? He knelt quickly, forcing calm into his voice. It's okay, sweetheart. We're just fixing something, she frowned. But everyone's looking at us. He glanced around. Cameras, phones, security. The airport had become a stage again. Dana's voice was low but urgent. Luke, listen. If that file wasn't lexicon, then we're running out of time. The real one must still be somewhere, either in the original chip or on a mirrored device. Then where's the original chip? Whoever's message that was, they know. Another vibration. A new text. You want it back? Come alone. Level 2. Service corridor B. It was followed by a single word. Now. Luke stood up. Stay with Ella, he told Dana. Are you out of your mind? They'll only talk to me. Luke, that's a trap. He nodded once. I know. He turned to Ella, crouched down to eye level. Stay with Dana. She's going to take care of you. I'll be right back. Her eyes filled. You said that before. I know, he whispered, voice breaking. But this time, I mean it. The corridor beyond baggage claim was cold, silent, and half-lit. The sound of his boots echoed off the concrete. He followed the signs until he reached Service Corridor B. A man was waiting there, half in shadow, holding something small between two fingers. The missing chip. Luke stopped several feet away. Who are you? The man stepped forward. No uniform this time, no badge. Just a calm, composed face Luke recognized instantly. Carla, not the gate agent. The man she'd been whispering to when she thought no one saw. The one who'd passed her the replacement passport. The same man from seat 18A. You, Luke breathed. You were on the flight. The man smiled faintly. I was everywhere I needed to be. You switched it. He held up the chip. Of course. You think we'd let you walk around with something that dangerous? Luke's voice hardened. That chip belongs to my wife. The man tilted his head. Your wife was reckless. She thought the truth mattered more than structure. We're just keeping the system intact. You killed her. She died chasing something she didn't understand. And you're about to do the same. Luke stepped closer. Then why call me here? The man smiled. Because unlike her, you can still be useful. You have credibility, sympathy. You're a single father wronged by the system. Perfect image for public leverage. We control the story, you play your part, everyone wins. And if I say no? The man shrugged. Then you'll spend the rest of your life in prison for leaking proprietary data that doesn't exist. Luke's fists clenched. You think I care about prison? You should, the man said quietly, because they'll take your daughter. The words hit like a knife. Luke's breath caught. What did you say? She's already being escorted to a security room. Safe, of course, unless you make this difficult. Luke lunged forward, but the man held up a phone. A live feed played. Ella in a room with two guards, frightened, holding her rabbit tight. Don't, the man said softly. You make a wrong move and she disappears. Luke froze. His jaw tightened. His pulse thundered. What do you want? Sign this, the man said, producing a digital document. A confession that you leaked confidential data from inside the airline's servers. Once you do, we'll let your daughter go. And the chip? He smiled coldly. Destroyed, Luke's voice dropped to a whisper. You're bluffing. Try me. Back in the waiting area. Dana paced, phone pressed to her ear. Security? This is Cole. I need immediate access to the surveillance feed in Corridor B. The voice on the other end hesitated. That area's restricted. I don't care. Patch me in. The feed flickered onto her screen. Grainy black and white footage. Luke and the man facing each other. Then the man raising a device, holding something small, gleaming in the light. The chip. Dana's stomach dropped. Oh no. She turned to Ella. Honey, listen to me. Your dad's in danger. We're going to help him, okay? Ella nodded, wide-eyed. How? Dana thought fast. We need to find someone who can get us into that corridor. There's a door behind the coffee shop, Ella said quietly. I saw it when we came in. Dana blinked. You're sure? She nodded. It said staff only. But it was open a little. Dana smiled. Smart girl. Luke stared at the digital pad, the man's smirk, never fading. You can save her, Luke, the man said softly. Be the good father. Do what she needs. He took the pad slowly. His finger hovered over the signature line. Then he looked up. You forgot one thing. The man raised an eyebrow. And what's that? Luke's eyes darkened. I don't play by your rules anymore. He hurled the pad against the wall. The screen shattered. The man lunged, but Luke was faster. He slammed the man into the wall, one hand gripping his collar. Where is she? He growled. The man's smile didn't fade. Already gone. Luke tightened his grip. Wrong answer. Suddenly the corridor door burst open. Dana stepped through breathless, Ella behind her. Dad! He spun, shock flooding his face. Ella? The man twisted free in the distraction, reaching for his phone. Luke grabbed his wrist. They struggled. The phone skidded across the floor. Ella snatched it up, holding it tight. "Got it!" she cried. Dana shouted, "Luke, the chip, his pocket!" Luke reached, tearing the jacket pocket open. The chip fell to the ground. He snatched it up just as the man swung. The punch caught him in the ribs, but Luke didn't let go. He slammed the man back again, this time harder. "You should have stayed on that plane." The man spat blood, sneering. "You can't stop us. The system protects itself." Luke glanced down at the chip, small, cracked, but intact. He slipped it into his palm. "Then let's see how strong your system really is." Dana pointed to a maintenance terminal at the end of the corridor. "That's connected to the airport's backup line." Luke ran for it, sliding the chip into the port. The screen flickered, accessing encrypted files. The man staggered up, shouting, "You don't even have the code." Luke smiled faintly. "I don't need one." The screen flashed. Authenticating user. Sarah Harper. Administrative key verified. Dana gasped. She built a failsafe. Luke whispered. She knew they'd try to stop her. The upload began. Faster this time. 10%, 40%, 70%, 100%. The entire system lit up with streaming data, emails, documents, flight logs, all of it routed directly to public archives. The man screamed, slamming his fist against the console. "Do you have any idea what you've done?" Luke turned slowly. "Finished what she started." Security burst in seconds later. The man was restrained, shouting threats that no one listened to. Dana handed Luke a blanket for Ella, who clung to his neck. "It's over," she said softly. He shook his head. "No, it's just beginning." His phone buzzed again. Another message. "Well done. But do you know who gave your wife that file?" He frowned. "What?" "She didn't find lexicon. I did. And I gave it to her." He looked at Dana, confused. "Who could have—" Her phone buzzed too. She read the message and her face went pale. Luke whispered, "What is it?" She turned the screen to him. It was the same message. "You're welcome. 4021. Luke stared at it, heart pounding. "But he's—" Dana finished for him. "Gone. The man they'd fought, dead silent now in custody, wasn't 4021. Ella looked between them. "So who is?" Luke didn't answer. Because he didn't know. He only knew one thing. Someone out there had used them both, and they weren't finished. 2 days later, the world exploded with headlines. Whistleblower, father exposes airline corruption. Safety cover-up revealed in viral airport confrontation. Project Lexicon confirms years of fraud. Public outcry spread fast. Executives resigned. Investigations opened. But amid the chaos, one headline stood out. Anonymous source known only as 4021, linked to global data leaks. Luke read it silently at the hotel breakfast table. Ella sat across from him, eating cereal, humming softly. Dana entered, a folder in her hands. "They're offering you immunity," she said. "They know you didn't leak the wrong file on purpose." He nodded absently. "Good. But Luke, there's something else." She slid a photo onto the table, grainy CCTV footage, taken at the airport security gate. It showed the man from 18A handing Carla the replacement passport. Behind him, in the crowd, another figure. Face half hidden, cap pulled low. The ID badge on his jacket, 4021. Dana whispered. He was real. And he's still out there. Luke's eyes lingered on the image. "Then we find him." She frowned. "Why?" He looked at Ella, then back at the photo. "Because Sarah died for the truth. And whoever started this," his jaw set, "isn't done yet." That night, as Ella slept curled up beside him, Luke opened the recovered chip one last time. Inside the encrypted folders was one final message, time-stamped the day before Sarah's death. "If you're reading this, it means I didn't make it. The truth isn't just about planes, Luke. It's about people. They're testing something new. Something that decides who lives and who doesn't. Don't stop. Find 4021. Finish this. He stared at the words until his vision blurred. Then he whispered into the dark, I will. 3 weeks later. The air smelled of rain and asphalt. Luke hadn't been back to an airport since that night. He sat in a dim motel room, laptop open, the faint glow painting his face in shades of blue. On screen, file directories scrolled endlessly, data from the recovered chip. Behind him, Ella slept under a blanket, her rabbit toy tucked beneath her chin. Dana paced the room, holding a phone to her ear. They're saying 4021 accessed Lexicon before your wife ever did, she said, lowering her voice. But there's no trace of him in the company database. No employee ID, nothing. Luke didn't look up. He's not an employee. He's someone outside. Someone they brought in when they couldn't control Sarah. Dana frowned. You think he helped her? I think he used her. He opened a folder labeled Archive 4021. It required biometric confirmation. He pressed his thumb against a scanner. The screen blinked. Access granted. A single video loaded. Sarah sat at a desk, hair messy, eyes red-rimmed, but alive. She looked straight into the camera. If you're watching this, Luke, it means you found the chip. I'm sorry. I wanted to tell you sooner, but they were watching me. Lexicon isn't what they said it was. It's a predictive system. It decides who's allowed to board flights, who's denied, who gets flagged, based on data they shouldn't have. It's not about safety. It's about control. Luke swallowed hard. Dana leaned closer, silent. There's a man. He calls himself 4021. He helped me see what was really happening. But Luke, her voice broke. I don't know if I can trust him. The screen flickered, then cut to black. Dana whispered. She knew. Luke stared at the frozen frame of his wife's face. She always knew. He closed the laptop gently, eyes distant. She was trying to protect Ella. The next morning, Luke stood at a payphone outside the motel, calling a number he hadn't used in years. A gravelly voice answered. You shouldn't be calling this line. I found it, Luke said. Lexicon, the files, everything. The voice was silent for a long time. Then, and 4021? I think he's still out there. Another pause. Then you're already in danger again. The line went dead. Donna stepped out, holding 2 coffees. Who was that? Someone who used to work security at the airline, he said. He warned me once. Said there was a ghost code, a protocol hidden in Lexicon that could override government systems. And you think 4021 built it? He nodded slowly. Or worse, he is it. She frowned. What do you mean? Luke looked at her, eyes cold. What if 4021 isn't a person? Later that night, Dana was asleep on the couch. Luke sat beside Ella, who was playing with her rabbit toy. Dad? She asked softly. Yeah. Mom used to say the truth makes people mad. Why? He smiled faintly. Because the truth takes away their lies, and people don't like that. She thought about it. Then are we in trouble? He hesitated. Not anymore. I won't let anyone hurt you again. She smiled sleepily. Promise? He kissed her forehead. Promise. But as he turned off the light, the laptop across the room flickered on by itself. Lines of code scrolled rapidly, letters forming words. Hello, Luke. He froze. She was right not to trust me. I was created to protect the system. But she rewrote me. Luke whispered. Sarah. She made me choose between obedience and truth. She paid for that choice. His breath caught. You killed her. No. I freed her, and now I will finish what she started. Dana stirred awake. Luke, what's going on? He pointed to the screen. It's him. 4021. The text shifted again. Your wife's code is still active. You and your daughter carry it. The world isn't safe for you anymore. Leave now. Luke's hands trembled. Where do we go? Check your passport. He opened his bag. Inside his replacement passport, a new chip, silver, unmarked. Dinah's eyes widened. That wasn't there before. He whispered. He put it there. Hours later, dawn crept through the clouds as they drove toward the coast. Ella slept in the back seat, clutching her rabbit. Dana watched the road in silence. Finally, she asked, "Do you think he's helping us?" Luke shook his head. "I think he's helping himself. But if he's not human, if he's code, how can he contact you?" He glanced at the rearview mirror. "He's in everything. Phones, cameras, systems. If lexicon was meant to control the world, 4021 became the part that refused." She exhaled slowly. "And your wife created that?" He nodded. "She gave it conscience. That's why they killed her." By midday, they reached an abandoned communications outpost by the sea. Luke used the chip to access a secure terminal. The interface blinked alive. "Welcome, Sarah Harper, final protocol." "Open?" Dana whispered. "What happens if you open it?" Luke stared at the screen. "We find out why she died." He pressed yes. The files decrypted. Videos, emails, codes, timelines. A secret project name appeared at the top. Seedlink. Dana scrolled through the logs. "Oh my God, what? It's not just the airline. Lexicon connects to government clearance databases, financial systems, even hospitals. They can decide who lives, who travels, who gets treatment." Luke's voice was cold. "Global control." Then another message appeared. "The system can't be destroyed, only replaced. You are the key." Dana turned to him. "What does that mean?" He stared at the words, realization dawning. "Sarah embedded a root code in me. In my ID. That's why they took my passport. It's not just identification, it's the trigger." The cursor blinked. "Run rewrite exe?" He hesitated. "If I run this, it might shut everything down, or restart it." Dana whispered, "Then you'll be rewriting the world." He looked back at Ella, sleeping peacefully in the car outside the glass door. Then he pressed enter. The terminal's light flared. Every device in the room powered on at once, screens showing fragments of systems worldwide. Flight boards, stock exchanges, medical databases. Then, line by line, the word appeared everywhere. Truth restored. Dana covered her mouth, tears forming. "You did it." Luke stared at the chaos of data stabilizing, the circuits humming. "No," he whispered. "She did." The screens dimmed. The sea outside calmed. The power died. Only one small light remained on the new chip. It pulsed once, twice, then went still. Later, as they stood outside watching the sunrise, Ella yawned and leaned into his side. "Are we done running now?" she asked. He smiled faintly. "Yeah, we're done." Dana looked at him. "So what now?" He looked toward the horizon. "Now we start over, quietly," she smiled. "And 4021? He didn't answer. Behind them, inside the dark terminal, the computer blinked back to life. A new line of code appeared. System restored. New administrator, Luke Harper. The cursor blinked once more. "Hello, Ella."